Let us define these events. Let us define the event A as A hits the target. And we define the event B as B hits the target. Now the question is, find the probability that target is hit. Now when will the target be hit? At least one of A and B will hit the target, right? But for at least one of A and B hit the target means A union B is the event, right? At least one of A and B hit the target. What all is given here? Probability that A hits the target, that is probability of the event A is given to you as 1/3. And the probability of the that the B hits the target is given to you as 2/5, right? Question is, what is the probability that target will be hit? So A union B, the probability of this will be, if we find the probability of A union B, then our question will be answered. But the problem here is that, you know, in order to find A union B, you need to find, you need PA, which is we already have. You need PB, and you also need probability that A and B hit the target together, right? If you see, PA intersection B is not given to you, isn't it? So that is why we will not be using this. What instead we'll be using is that the target will be hit if A hits and B misses, or that is A hits and B misses. What is the corresponding event? A intersection B complement occurs, right? In the following mutually exclusive way. These are mutually exclusive. In the following mutually exclusive ways. Next, B hits and A misses. That is A bar intersection B occurs. Or what is the third possibility? Both hit the target, right? And what is the event here? For both A and B to hit the target, A intersection B occurs. Now, therefore, when can a target be hit? If we define E as the event, the target is hit. That means E can occur in three mutually exclusive ways: A intersection B bar, union A bar intersection B, union A intersection B, right? That means probability of the event E is P A intersection B bar plus P A bar intersection B plus P A intersection B. Now these are independent events, so you can write this as PA into PB bar plus PA bar into PB plus PA into PB. And what is PB bar? It is 1 minus PB. And PA bar is 1 minus PA. And PA into PB. Put the values. What is the probability of the event A? It is 1/3. And probability of the event B is 1/5, 2/5. 1 minus 2/5 plus 1 minus 1/3 into 2/5 plus 1/3 into 2/5. Okay, so this you calculate to be 3/5. Okay. Now I told you you cannot do by PA union B. Actually, you can do. I just got it in my mind that you can also do it in this way. PA union B is equal to PA plus PB minus PA intersection B, right? Now PA plus PB minus PA into PB, because A and B are independent events. That means 1/3 plus 2/5 minus 1/3 into 2/5. And you can calculate also this to be 3/5. Okay, so these two are the ways of doing. Clear? Let us see the next sum. Number 11. Question here is, A speaks the truth in 60% of the cases, B in 90% of the cases. In what percentage of the cases are they likely to contradict each in stating the same fact? Right? Let us define the events. When will they contradict each other? Can you tell me when will they contradict each other? When will A and B contradict each other? Yes, tell me when will they contradict each other? Any takers? When will you and I contradict each other?
Contradict each other.
Suppose if I am speaking the truth and you are lying, then we are contradicting each other, right? Or if I lie and you speak the truth, then also we are contradicting each other.
Yes.
So therefore, in this case, we define these events. So let us define the following events. A we define as the event that A speaks the truth. B we define as the event that B speaks the truth. Then what is the event that A lies? A bar is the event that A lies. And B bar is the event that B lies, right?
He lied.
If I say E is the event that they contradict each other, A and B contradict each other, that means E can occur in two mutually exclusive ways. E can occur in two mutually exclusive ways. What are those ways? A speaks the truth and B lies. In this case, what is the event that is occurring? A intersection B bar occurs, right? Or you can have A lies and B speaks the truth. In this case, what is the event occurring? A bar intersection B, right? So therefore, what is E composed of? E is composed of two events, A intersection B bar union A bar intersection B. Since these two are mutually exclusive, we can add up the probabilities. And these two are independent also. If A and B are independent, why are A and B independent? Because A lies by himself, he does not depend on B. And similarly, the other way around also. PB bar is 1 minus PB. The probability of A, how much is given? Probability of A, what is the probability of A? A speaks the truth 60% of the cases. That means 60 by 100. And B speaks the truth in 90% of the cases. Right? So that's it. So you calculate this to be 42 by 100. It should be 0.42. I hope this problem is clear. We can move on to the next problem. Number 12. Question here is the probability that A, B, and C solving the probability of A, B, and C solving a problem are 1/3, 2/7, and 3/8 respectively. If all three try to solve the problem simultaneously, find the probability that exactly one of them solve the problem. When will exactly one of them solve the problem? That is either A solves and B and C do not solve, B solves and A and C do not solve, or C solves, A and C do not solve, right? So we define these events. Let us define the following events. A solves the problem. B solves the problem. C solves the problem, right? Therefore, what are the probabilities given? The probability that A solves the problem is 1/3. Probability that B solves the problem is 2/7. And the probability that C solves the problem is 3/8. Right? What is A bar? A bar is the event that A cannot solve the problem. B bar is
Can
the
B
event.
bar is there?
B cannot solve the problem. And similarly, C bar is C
We
cannot
cannot
solve
solve.
the problem. So if E is the event that the problem is solved by exactly one of them, problem is solved by exactly one of A, B, and C, then E can occur in the following mutually exclusive ways. What is the event D? That exactly one of them solve the problem, right? So A solves, B and C fail to solve. That is A intersection B complement intersection C complement occurs, right? B solves A and C fail to solve. Then what happens? A bar intersection B intersection C bar occurs. And finally, C solves A and B fail to solve. That is A bar intersection B bar intersection C occurs. Now, if E is the event, the problem is solved by exactly one of A, B, and C. One of A, B, and C. Then what is E here? E is composed of three events, as I have listed above: A intersection B bar intersection C bar union A bar intersection B bar A bar intersection B. This is the part B above. A bar intersection B intersection C bar union A bar intersection B bar intersection C. And if you take probabilities, all these are mutually exclusive. You can add up the probability. Since PE is equal to P A intersection B bar intersection C bar plus P A bar intersection B intersection C bar plus P A bar intersection B bar intersection C. Now these are independent. So you can write PA intersection B bar intersection C bar as PA into PB bar into PC bar. You can write this as PA bar into PB into PC bar. And here you can write this as PA bar into PB bar into PC bar. Sorry, PC, not PC bar. So PA PB bar is 1 minus PB. PC bar is 1 minus PC plus PA bar is 1 minus PA into PB into PC bar is 1 minus PC plus PA bar is 1 minus PA. PB bar is 1 minus PB into PC. Now you put the values. What is PA and PB? PA and PB here is given to be PA, PB and PC. 1/3, 2738. So 1/3, 2738. 1 minus 38. Plus 1 minus 1/3 into 2 by 7 into 1 minus 3 by 8 plus 1 minus 1/3 into 1 minus 2/7 into 3 by 8. Okay, so this is what you are getting, and you will solve this. You will simplify this to get 25 divided by 56. That's your answer. Any question till this part? Moving on to the next problem. Now, next problem here I have solved here. Now, why I have solved here? Because this is a special case. We'll be entering the type 3 problems. Now, what are these type 3 problems? Type 3 problems are problems of drawing balls with replacement or without replacement. Now, what do you mean by with replacement and without replacement? Suppose a bag contains certain number of balls. Okay, we'll see this in this example. See here. A bag contains 3 white balls. So this is your bag. It contains 3 white balls, 2 black balls, and it contains 4 red balls. Right? Find the probability of drawing a white ball, a black ball, and a red ball in succession. In succession means one after the other. Right? So you draw one ball, and then you draw another ball, and then you draw another ball. In that order. That means you are drawing out. You want to find out the probability of drawing out a white ball first, right? Black ball second, and a red ball third, right? This is what you want to find out in succession with replacement, without replacement. Now there are 2 ways. First is with replacement. What do you mean by with replacement? Suppose you're taking out a ball of, say, a white ball you're taking out in the first draw. And then what are you doing? You are keeping it back, right? This is first cycle finished. In the second cycle, you are again picking up black ball. After picking up the black ball, you're keeping the black ball back. The second cycle. And similarly, third cycle. Okay. So this is called with replacement. That is, you are putting it back. You're drawing out a ball in the first draw, putting it back, and then again you are drawing a second ball. That is called drawing with replacement. What about without replacement? Without replacement, you're drawing out one ball after the other and you're not keeping it back. First ball you draw out, you don't keep it back. And then you draw the next ball. Okay. So that is what you need to see the difference here. Okay, so if you see, I have defined these 3 events: white ball drawn in the first draw, black ball drawn in the first draw, red ball drawn in the first draw, right? So what is the probability if it is with replacement? We are now considering the first case with replacement. Then what happens? If you are drawing out one ball with replacement, you are drawing out one ball and then keeping it back, and then in the second draw again we are drawing out one ball. So therefore, if we are drawing out one ball, what is the probability of white ball in the first draw? How many white balls? So write it once again. There are 3 white balls, 2 black, and 4 red. So 3 white balls are there. So what is the probability of picking up a white ball in the first draw? It is 3 divided by total number of balls, right? Secondly, you are keeping it back once again. That means the number of balls is not changing, right? Now, what is the probability of picking up a black ball in the second draw? How many black balls? 2 divided by total number of balls. 9 again. 9 because you're keeping back the ball, the number of balls is not changing. Similarly, if we define the event R as red ball, then the probability of R will be 4 by 9 because there are 4 red balls and the number of balls are not changing. So it is 4 by 9. So what is the probability of picking up a white ball and then a black ball and then a red ball? It is P W intersection B intersection R, a white ball and a red ball and a black ball and a red ball. And these three events are independent. So you can write this as PA in PW, sorry, not PA, PW into PB into PR. And you write down the individual probabilities, multiply them together to get 8 by 243. This is 1. That is, this is the first case where we are drawing with replacement. Next, we want to find out drawing without replacement, right? Without replacement means drawing out first ball, not keeping it back. Then drawing out the second ball, not keeping it back. Okay. So in the first, again, the events remain the same. Drawing out a white ball in the first draw, drawing out a black ball in the second draw, drawing out a red ball in the second draw. But this time the probabilities are going to change. Probability of drawing a white ball in the first draw will be 3 by 9 because there are 3 white balls, total number of balls is 9. So it will be 1/3. So this will remain the same. But in the second draw, what will happen is that you're drawing out a black ball, right? So how many black balls are there? There are 2 black balls, right? Now you have already from among these, you have already taken out 1 ball. That means number of balls left is 9 minus 1, right? That means 2 by 8. So 1/4. Similarly, the probability of picking up a red ball. How many red balls are there? There are 4 red balls. Now, in the first draw, you have drawn a ball. In the second draw, you have drawn a ball. So how many balls you have already drawn? 2 balls. So the probability is 4 by 7. So again, the same thing. You use this. Probability of drawing a white ball and a black ball and a red ball is equal to PW into PB into PR. This time you will be multiplying the probabilities 1/3 into 1/4 into 4 by 7. Clear with this problem? Drawing with replacement and without replacement. Do I have an audience? Next is a case of repeated trials or drawing with replacement. Now, what do you mean by repeated trials? First of all, we define trials. Trials is any performance of a particular experiment is called a trial. Okay, suppose you are tossing 2 coins together. Tossing 2 coins simultaneously. This is an experiment, a random experiment, right? But suppose if you are tossing 2 coins simultaneously, if you're tossing them 10 times, right? Then these 10 times we call this is the number of trials. Number of trials is denoted by n. Okay. So if I'm tossing 2 coins, this is an experiment. But same experiment if I'm repeating over again, okay, suppose 10 times, 20 times, 25 times, then each performance of the experiment is called a trial. Next is success and failure. Now in each trial, there will be a success and a failure. Now, what do you mean by success and failure in each trial? Suppose if I'm tossing 2 coins. Suppose I'm tossing 2 coins 10 times. Then clearly the number of trials here is 10, right? I can define the appearance of one head as a success. Suppose if I define the success as appearance of one head, exactly one head. Then in each trial, remember in each trial, because we are tossing two coins simultaneously, right? In each trial, what should be, what are the events that will give me our success? What is the probability of success? HTTH are the events that are favorable. The probability of success, probability of success, P is 2 by 4, which means half. This probability of success is denoted by P. Remember, probability of success in each trial is half. So therefore, what is the probability of what is Q? Q is defined as 1 minus P, which is 1 minus half. Q is sometimes called probability of failure. Okay. So in this case, when there are n trials, the probability of success of n trials in which there are r number of successes, the probability of success, n successes, r successes in fact, the probability of r successes in n trials is given by NCR. N is the number of trials, R is the number of successes. P into 1 minus P, or sometimes written as Q also, P to the power of R, Q to the power of 1 minus P to the power of N minus R. Okay, this is the way, this is your formula for getting probability of R successes. Let us see an example, it will be clearer. Number 14. A bag contains 5 white, 7 red, and 4 black balls. Okay, so let's draw the bag. 5 white, 7 red, and 4 black balls. If 4 balls are drawn one by one with replacement, what is the probability that none is white? Now see this event here. None is white. This should be our
So
success.
replacement,
Tell
what
me
does it mean?
what?
How we will do? Like you told which replacement?
Just 5 minutes back, Tanisha, you were not there.
Yes, sir.
Then, if you have not heard the full thing, how will you understand? In probability, you cannot miss anything. What is your question?
What is meant by replacement here in probability?
Replacement means I am drawing out one ball and keeping it back. Understood? Replace means put it back. Suppose if I am taking out 3 balls one after the other. First ball I take out, put it back. Second ball I take out, put it back. And then third ball I take out and put it back. That is with replacement. And without replacement means I'm taking out one ball and not keeping it back. Then another one I'm taking it out, not keeping it back. Okay.
Hmm.
So that is what it means with replacement. So a bag contains 5 white, 7 red, and 4 black balls. If 4 balls are drawn one by one with replacement. So how many trials are there? Number of trials? 4 balls we are taking out one by one. The number of trials is 4. Right? Now see the question. That none is white. That means which should be our success? Success should be, we define success as none of the ball is white. Right? So what is the probability of success in each trial? What is the probability of success in each trial? I'm taking out one ball, which is
One ball.
non-white. Then what is the probability of success? Non-white ball. How many non-white balls? Seven red and 4 black. So it is 11 divided by 16, isn't it? Therefore, what is
Hmm.
Q? Q is 1
So yeah.
minus P, which is 1 minus 11 by 16, which is 5 by 16. Now, the question is that we must get a non-white ball in all of the 4 trials, right? In all of the 4 trials, we must get
Non-white ball.
a non-white ball. If all of the trials we are getting a non-white ball, then what is success here? Success is non-white ball. So how many successes? Number of successes?
2.
4. All 4 we are drawing white ball, right? Or non-white ball. Success is drawing out of a non-white ball. And in all 4 trials, we want to get a non-white ball. So it has to be 4 successes. Therefore, R here must be equal to 4. Hence,
Hmm.
probability of drawing out a non-white ball in all the 4 trials is equal to NCR P to the power of R into 1 minus P to the power of N minus R. What is the value of N here? There are 4 trials. How many success we want? 4 successes we want. What is the probability of success in each trial? 11 by 16 to 1
4
minus
into 11.
1 minus 11 by 16 to the power of 4 minus 4, which is simply 11 by 16 to the power of 4. This is because we put it to the power of R. P to the power of R, you see. Okay. So therefore, this should be 11 by 16 whole to the power of 4. And that is your probability.
Hmm.
Fine. So this is how we work out these problems. Now, in each of these problems, you'll see that there are trials. Okay. An experiment is performed repeatedly. Okay. And in each of those repeated performances, that is trials, you will get a success and a failure. Now, which will be a success? It will depend on the question. What your question is. You will define your success according to the question. Okay. And the failure will be just the opposite of your success. And in the question, you will see how many successes you want. Okay. So that will give you a value of R. So let's see the next question. The next question here is 2 cards are drawn successfully with replacement. With replacement means we are drawing out 1 card after the other, right? The first card I draw out, I keep it back, right? I see the card and then obviously I keep it back. And then I draw the second card, right? So how many trials are there? Number of trials? How many trials? 2. Because we are drawing out 2 cards, one after the other. So number of trials is 2, right? What is the success here? Now look at the question. Probability of drawing 2 aces. Success is drawing out of an ace, not 2
About
aces.
2.
Not drawing out 2 aces, drawing out of an ace. Because what is each trial? In each trial, we are drawing out 1 card, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that is why drawing out of an ace will be our success. Drawing out of one single ace. There are 2 trials, and in each trial, we are drawing out 1 card. So therefore, our success will be drawing out of an ace. Therefore, what is the probability of success in each trial? 1. How many aces are there?
One is
4 aces are there,
in each.
right? Probability of success in each trial is 4 by 52. 1 by 13. Therefore, what is Q? 1 minus P. 1 minus 1 by 13. 12 by 13. Right? So we have got the value of N. We have got the value of P. We have got the value of Q. Now we see how many successes we want. Look at the question here. The probability of drawing 2 aces. So how many successes? Number of successes here is One ace, then only we'll get two aces, right? First should be A,
Hmm.
second should be A. Then we'll get two successes. That means number of successes R must be equal to 2. Hence,
2.
probability of drawing two aces.
Hmm.
Write the formula NCR p to the power of R into 1 minus p to the power of n
1
minus R.
minus p to the power of n minus r.
2C2, n and R both are 2. P here is 1 by 13,
1 by 13 to the power of 2.
2 into 1 minus 1 by 13 to the power of 2 minus 2.
1.
That's it. Your answer should be 1 by 169. Clear with this?
Yes.
Okay. Now I have 5 minutes left. So I'll stop here. This session will take a break.